This is the Seller Process Podcast, where we talk about the best systems, processes, and SOPs for your Amazon business so that you can regain control of your time, build up your team, and scale your e-com empire.
Hello, entrepreneurs. If you are looking to expand your brand beyond Amazon into your D2C store, then this episode is for you. Our guest today will share with us the checklist every Amazon seller should follow to expand into Shopify. I'm joined today by Eric Dunion, an e-commerce professional specializing in helping clients grow their brands of Amazon by using Shopify. With extensive experience, Eric offers tailored strategies and comprehensive services, including store setup, optimization, and marketing. He empowers entrepreneurs to regain control, build their customer base, and establish unique brand identities, unlocking the full potential of their e-commerce businesses. Hey, Eric, welcome. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here. Excited to talk about this today.
Good. So, guys, in every episode, we share some complimentary material that you can download from our website, thesellerprocess.com, or you will find the link in the YouTube description of this video. And in this episode, Eric is sharing with us a checklist, a very nice one. It's very practical. So I'm really, looking forward to have this conversation because we will touch a lot of, very practical topics. So we're talking about the checklist to go from Amazon to Shopify. Okay, a very practical one. So Eric, why don't we start by walking us through the high level process, of this checklist, what it includes, and then we will kind of, touch every point more in depth.
Yeah, I think the first thing to mention is you're not really moving from Amazon to Shopify. It's more of expanding on your brand presence.
Right.
So you want to add Shopify on to what you're already doing with Amazon. Think of Amazon as like a wholesale channel, like a Walmart, like all of these Faire, there's plenty of them, Etsy, whatever. Shopify would ultimately become your main business hub outside of your Amazon channel. And then the nice thing with Shopify is with it being your hub is you can start to plug in. You could use Amazon fulfillment from your Shopify network. You can do plenty of different things. So the main benefit is grow your brand, take ownership of your customers, and try to fend off those copycats that we're starting to see Amazon relatively crack down on. But those Amazon copycats that they're stealing your IP, they're creating ghost LLCs selling your products, and then they get caught, and then they come back with a different LLC, and they keep selling your same patented product. So that's kind of how we got into this process. Was we were working with someone that was doing that exact situation going on, just their Amazon channel, looking for a way to expand. They were kind of getting cannibalized by these copycat sellers. So they were looking for a better solution on how to grow their brand, how to take ownership of their customer data. Because I think as you talk about direct-to-consumer brands in general, you want to own that data. That's really like your enterprise value of your business is your customer data, your email lists. So looking forward, that's kind of the benefit of moving to Shopify and moving to your own CMS platform that manages your brand and your website and your customer data.
Right. Okay. So I'm curious to ask you, why do you recommend specifically Shopify? I mean, it's obviously one of is the most famous, is the most used. But why do you recommend specifically that over WordPress or other similar service providers?
So what we tell everybody normally is whenever we speak to someone that's looking to do something like this or looking to expand on their current website, maybe they're on an older platform like a Joomla, Virtue Mart, for example, is it really just depends on your abilities as a business, as an owner. If you have a team, what their abilities are. And in most cases, Shopify is the easiest lift. It's the fastest, easiest, simplest CMS platform to get started on. It has the most integrations out there. So in terms of having to pay an outside developer to build you API connections to other platforms, Shopify has that already built out within the App Store. So from a lift perspective, it's easier to get off the ground. The connections are there. You have the Google feed straight into Google Shopping. You have the Facebook Shop feed straight into Facebook and Instagram Shopping, TikTok, Twitter, even Etsy, and there's multiple other seller channels that you could tie into your Shopify account to post your products in other locations. So that's like the big reason is it's the simplest way to get started. And then usually what we tell people is you'll get to a point where, you'll be doing probably a couple million on your Shopify store before you would even need to think about switching to, let's say a big commerce or a WooCommerce where you own more of the website. Because the problem there is if people dive deep into, well, I have full control over the code. Well, you don't necessarily want full control over the code, because if you have full control over the code, yes, you can do more, but you're also faced with a lot of the downsides of that, which means that you have to pay a developer to kind of upkeep your website. Whereas with Shopify and your site being hosted on Shopify servers, you can let Shopify do that development work for you, and you just pay the monthly subscription fee.
Right. I agree. And I have actually experiences with both Shopify and WordPress. And Shopify is definitely way more user-friendly, right? WordPress, you can do everything. Well, WooCommerce, you can do everything. But as you said, you don't necessarily need to do everything. Let's say same goes with, for example, with Amazon. People are used to do very little thing on Amazon. We talk about listing optimization, images, graphics, but that's all really you can do on Amazon, to improve your listing. On Shopify, you can do much more. You can work on your homepage and everything else, but you don't necessarily want to have even more capabilities to change stuff, because it can get very complex very easily, right? So Shopify, I would say it's a very good a compromise, let's say, even though it's actually a great platform, not just a compromise. I'd like to go through the checklist. So what is the first step that we need to start with?
Yep. So the first step would be you want to sign up for a Shopify account. So they have a few different plans. So you want to pick what's right for you or what you feel like's right for you. Shopify Plus is their most expensive package. You'll get basically full unfettered access to what Shopify can do for you. In terms of, they have some things called Shopify functions, Shopify scripts. It just kind of opens up what you can do as a website. So, if you're a business that has a large amount of products, you have a really great Amazon channel, and you're ready to just go full bore on your own website, selling off, direct to consumer, running, paid advertising on Facebook, what have you. Plus might be the way to go, but that's really where we tell the business owner to kind of gauge where you're at as a business and start in the right place. The really good plan would just be start with the Shopify plan. It's the second tier. So it goes basic, Shopify, advanced, plus. Advanced is, I believe they just raised the price. So it might be $399 or $299. I'll have to check that. But that's a good cusp. If you grow out of Shopify, you move to advanced, you can easily upgrade and move to the higher tier if you need it. But it's always good to start on that base level. There's really not much difference besides the transaction costs that Shopify payments will charge you. That's really the big added benefit as you move up. And then some app providers will charge you different rates based on what plan you're running with Shopify. So the first thing you want to do, go to shopify.com, sign up for a store. It'll ask you what you want your myshopify.com domain to be. You don't necessarily need to be that worried about that. That's just kind of how they categorize you in their system. So don't spend too much time thinking about what that's going to be, because you're going to end up plugging your own domain in, which is we have listed here as the second point on the checklist. Go to GoDaddy.com, get a domain. Usually we push people to try and get a .com domain if possible. It doesn't necessarily affect you from an SEO perspective negatively, whether you're .com, .co. We're seeing a lot of .ios now with the advent of AI. So it's not going to negatively affect you. We've seen a lot of businesses do .cos and it works just fine. .com is just what people are used to. So in terms of from like organic search, someone typing in your domain, .com is just easier for them to understand and plug in. So then once you have your domain, it's in your account with GoDaddy. The next thing would just be connected to your Shopify store. Now you basically have a live website with an active domain, and it's really that simple. It's really just a couple clicks. Shopify has the integration built out with GoDaddy, so they actually handle the DNS setup, which is, again, we talk about more complications from WooCommerce and BigCommerce. You'd have to go in and update your DNS settings, which now we're getting into the weeds of what a front-end developer should be working on.
No, I just wanted to add one thing that I would suggest people to actually buy their domain right away when they set up their store on Amazon, so that they will keep the name, and then in the future, whenever they want to create their Shopify store, then they have it ready to go. Okay, so that's just it. So then what's next? What do we do after we set up the store?
Yeah, so the next step would be kind of create your business, really, right? Because Amazon has done a lot of the work for you in the sense that it's their support team. You don't really have to manage customer complaints or emails, very little, if so. So you want to kind of create your online business. So that requires, domainized emails. So the next thing we recommend is we use Google Workspace for everything. And Google Workspace really is kind of your back-end business system that manages your emails for all of for your support email, your admin email, your personal email as the founder. We always recommend like a sender email. So like either your first name at, whatever your domain is. So you go create your Google Workspace account. Most important one to just get started would be set up the admin at your domain, and then set up support at your domain. So whatever your domain is, and then use that admin email when you sign up for, your Shopify account, or, you sign up for different applications along the way. And the nice thing there is you can consolidate where your billing emails are coming into and your important notification, and just have that, forward directly to your daily email that you're taking a look at. And then your support email will be, what you use for your customer service agent. So customer service agents, I mean, you can go on Upwork, you can find customer service agents all across the globe. Usually they're paid hourly. So we use a program called Hubstaff to manage their hours. They track their hours. They work through tickets. And there's a couple different applications that you can use to manage your customer tickets. Zendesk is a big one. I'm sure people have probably heard of. Zendesk will allow you to hook in your email. It'll allow you to hook in to Facebook and Instagram messages, Twitter, text messaging, whatnot. Reamaze is another really good one. It's a little bit cheaper, easier to use. So that'll kind of be what you need to get your customer service under grasp. But I wouldn't tell anybody if you're just getting started, your sales are going to be so low. You could just run basically off the email only. So just use support at your domain, use the Google email format, and just have your customer service agent that you're paying work in that email channel to manage the customer comments and complaints, or maybe you do it yourself just to get started so you kind of understand where the pain points are. And then the next thing, as you create that workspace account, you're going to need a phone number for your business. None of us want to get phone calls to our cell phones. We're busy enough. So what we recommend, and I think, the world is going in this direction, is people just aren't supporting voice customer support as much anymore, unless you're more of like a high ticket product that requires more assistance. So we recommend using, within your workspace account, you can sign up for a Google Voice number. And your Google Voice number you can set it up as an admin or as an auto attendant. So, you type in a message, thanks for calling XYZ. Unfortunately, we don't support voice customer support. Please reach out to support at, xyzdomain.com. And we'll be happy to get in touch with you. And then it's just an automatic hang up. And the reason you need that phone number is part of getting your merchant processing set up with your Shopify account is you need to have a phone number that shows on the credit card statements for the customers that buy from you. So it'll show up as whatever Shopify payments, your brand name, and then have that voice support number. So if someone sees a erroneous charge, they at least can call the number. They know that they have to email you. So they can send you a support email to say, hey, I don't recognize this charge or what have you. And now you can at least deal with it from a customer support perspective. But you do need a phone number inevitably. So, voice customer support, not supporting voice customer support using Google Voice, easiest way to get it going and not have to pay an agent to stand on the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
The
That's
next,
interesting. Yeah. Go ahead.
the next big thing is, so right now we're kind of in this, we're establishing our online business. And so we need a business address. So where is your business operating from? And most people already have that, whether they work from their house, whether they work from, another location, they have an actual office or a warehouse. Maybe you already have a business address that you can just plug in. But maybe you don't. Maybe you're, on the move in Malaysia and bounce around. And you need to have an address, localized in whatever country you want to be selling in. So one of the virtual address companies we use is called ipostal1.com. You can set up a virtual address. They'll give you, an actual address that you can then use on your site. Any mail that is sent to that address, you'll get notified of. You can forward it to whatever your actual mailing address is, and then that way you're not putting your real personal home address out there for everybody to see online and associate to your brand.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Can you just put your business at the LLC address, for example, or the registered address of the business of the company that you're using? Is that fine?
You could. It's really just kind of up to you. We prefer to use this method just in case we do get like an influx of mail. It's not showing up to our business address. We don't necessarily want people coming to our office location to meet with us if they found something online that didn't make sense. We kind of just like to keep that, veil of security around us. So we use these iPostal addresses just as like a safety precaution for that.
Yeah.
So that's just really the recommendation there. It also helps in case you're moving constantly, you're not having to update the website. You just have one iPostal address that you can use for your brand, and it doesn't matter whether your office location moves or you're moving. If you have one address, you can forward that mail if you ever need it to your current address.
Yeah. Okay. That's good advice. Yeah. I agree. Okay. Cool. All right. So then, where are we in the process? What's next?
Yep. So now the boring stuff's done. So we've set up the kind of online business persona, your emails, you got all the boring stuff finished. And that's all quick. None of that should really take you, more than like a day or two to really get set up and configured and whatnot. So it goes really fast. The next thing for you would be, now you have this Shopify CMS. And when I say CMS, I mean CMS is short for content management system. Your empty box is really like where your products are managed, the API connections, how you manage your pricing, your inventory levels. That's kind of all within that box. And then that tarp really is just your theme file. It's how the sections of your website appear, on the interweb. There's a couple places if you don't want to use what you find for free from Shopify. They do offer some free themes. They're good. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're good enough to get started if that's what you wanted to start with. Theme Forest is a really good option for someone that's looking for something a little bit cheaper. You basically download the theme file, then upload it into your Shopify store. So they're not really interfaced directly. One that is interfaced directly is Shopify's theme store. You're going to find themes that are a little bit more expensive, and it's going to be the same as what you find on Theme Forest. But at least what you're confident of is that a theme listed on the Shopify theme store meets Shopify's theme standards. So the coding is really, up to par with what Shopify expects from a theme and a platform that's selling on Shopify. There's other options too. I mean, you could go on Upwork and find a front-end developer to kind of develop you a Shopify theme. We do a lot of that for a lot of our clients that, they have a current website, they need to migrate to Shopify because they want to use the better CMS platform, the better content management system that Shopify offers. So in those situations, they'll come to us and we'll create them a UX UI design of a future website for them. And we'll work through the entire process. Then we develop them a custom theme that fits their specific business use case. So if you need something a little bit more tailored like that, plenty of development agencies. We do it at Mentis Collective. So, we can always help you out if you ever need us from that regard. But yeah, so that's really the minute you get done that theme setup, you have an active website that you can turn the password off and kind of open it up and start taking sales if you wanted. But a lot of times what you'll find out is it's not like Amazon. People just don't come to your website just to buy. Unfortunately, that, organic sale traffic just doesn't happen. So you kind of have to generate some sales for yourself. So that's why with Shopify, there's a plethora of options you can do that. You could run organic traffic via your YouTube channel. You could run organic traffic, based on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or what have you, and just go from the organic route, or you could do paid social advertising and run, advertisements on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and kind of just tackle all of those. And it's an easy setup from that point. Again, that's something that the benefit of Shopify is they make it really simple for you to plug in your pixel. Your pixel's that tracking script that follows the consumer as they go from social media to your website and watches their behavior. So they help you manage your pixel setups. So again, that's the benefit there. But yeah, if you want to generate traffic to your store, you're going to have to kind of come up with some kind of plan to start getting customers to you. But this is where it also becomes fun too. And this is where it could be really good for your Amazon channel as well. And what we've seen from people we've worked with before is when we got to this phase of working with them and helping get their paid social advertising set up on Facebook in particular with this client. We started running Facebook ads with their specific product, video ads mostly. It was fitness equipment. And he actually saw a boost in his Amazon sales because it was generating kind of a buzz on Facebook and Instagram. And most people shop, on Amazon, as we all know. So it was actually generating more sales on his Amazon channel as we were running marketing spend on Facebook and Instagram and these other channels. So not only was he getting sales on his new Shopify store, but he was seeing increased sales on his Amazon channel. And part of that goes back to what I said in the beginning. Owning your brand really starts when you start running these paid social advertising. And you start putting your brand out there in front of people, so people start recognizing it. Now they're searching for it on Amazon if they want to buy it, or they're just coming direct to that website via the link in the ad to buy directly from you.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, yeah, it's a really good point when you say that you start owning your customers after you put yourself out there through social media. It's very important that people start typing your brand name on Amazon, because as you said, most people end up buying on Amazon in the end, but they learn about your brand through social media, Google or whatever, or your website. So maybe they look at your website, they see you're a legit company, they like your products, and maybe they go shopping on Amazon. But that act of typing your brand name, it's kind of the beginning of the creation of a relationship with your customers. So that's really like a valuable moment. Yeah, I think every brand should kind of strive to create. So actually something interesting you were talking about is like about the theme and the setup of the store. Then I'm curious to know if there are any like specific apps or integrations that you recommend for us to use to enhance the selling capabilities, let's say, of the store, or to increase the performance of the store.
Yeah, so that's a really great question, because there's the nice thing. Well, let me back up real quick. So Amazon and Shopify are kind of direct competitors in some sense. So you'll notice that there's not as many integrations built out as there probably should be between both platforms. But one that is there that is immediately beneficial for someone that's selling FBA on Amazon is the multi-channel fulfillment application that's downloadable on Shopify. And what that will allow you to do is let Amazon handle your fulfillment for your Shopify store. So you just immediately right off the bat can take one of the most complicated things about running your own, selling platform right off the table by just letting Amazon handle the fulfillment of it. And then you just have to handle the front end, shipping charges. So that definitely something to look into if you have a high volume, Amazon channel. You already ship most of your inventory for FBA as well. Just allow them to do your fulfillment off the bat, and then work your way into maybe a cheaper alternative, maybe working with a 3PL. And I think that's like a later point in my checklist, but you could end up working with a 3PL down the line. But just to get started, it's definitely easier. Just let Amazon handle it. Your inventory is all in one place already. Push your orders directly in via that app into your Amazon channel. Let them handle the fulfillment for you, but you handle the front end sales. You take that customer data. You get to keep them, in your customer list and your email list going forward. And then, obviously you're building sales outside of Amazon. God forbid anything ever happened to Amazon, you still have your Shopify channel.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of one of the main reasons why many people expand to Shopify to diversify into another channel. Real quick, the last question: can you give us like some example of an Amazon seller that successfully expanded into Shopify? What is the strategy that we should follow? Do you recommend that we follow when we go to Shopify? Give us like a general strategy, like what should we focus on before we close?
Yeah. So the first thing you need to just be aware of is it's going to be tough to get started, right? You shouldn't. It's not Amazon, right? People aren't organically coming there searching for your product, and you just need to worry about your ranking within Amazon, and people are going to buy. Your sales are going to be hard to get, right? It's going to be a little bit more of like a battle to generate that profitable revenue that you want, in comparison to what you're probably getting on Amazon. So that's just a really important thing to keep in mind as you're doing this. You need to be in a position where you have the cash flow from your Amazon channel to kind of support your brand growth. So just something to keep in mind is you don't want to jump into this before you feel like your Amazon channel is really ready to kind of take it on. And then as you move into your Shopify store and now you're running paid advertising, I think it's a really good thing to keep in mind. It's called MER, marketing efficiency ratio. It's good to look at them separately, as in here's my Amazon sales, here's my Shopify sales, and then what are my profits from both stores or from both sales channels. It's good to look at it from that perspective, but holistically, you do need to kind of keep them in the same grouping. And look at that marketing efficiency ratio and say, hey, I spent $1,000 on ads on Facebook, and I only generated $1,000 in sales on my Shopify store, but I generated 5,000 more than I normally would on my Amazon channel. So that was really good ad spend. My marketing efficiency ratio is almost a 6 return, right? Because I generated $6,000 for $1,000 of ad spend. So that's definitely something. As you do this, make sure you keep an eye on that and just keep aggregate all of your advertising spend to then find out what that marketing efficiency ratio is, and you'll find out kind of where your break point is. We find that with some of our clients, it's like a 2.5 return is what you're looking for. So if you spend $1,000, you need to make back at least 2,500 in revenue. Compared to your ad spend to be profitable, but that really depends on what your product cost is, what your margins are of your specific product. But so find that return that you need on your ad spend.
Okay, yeah, very interesting. So that was, I think we covered, the last points here. We got a lot of insights from these checklists. So thank you for sharing that. People can find it in our website at thesellerprocess.com. You will find, the link to download it, or in the YouTube description. Okay, so make sure you check that out. Obviously, it's a very complex process, right? So you guys can follow that checklist to start. But in case they're interested to work with you, like how can they find you? What can you help them with?
Yeah, so you can find us. I wouldn't say we're an agency. We're more of like a consulting team. Very like high level. We work with you almost as a coach along the process. And if you need detailed help, we can point you in the right direction. But you can find us at mentiscollective.com. If you're looking to work with a 3PL, mtnymade.com is our 3PL side of our business, where we handle the fulfillment for for brands that deal with this exact situation. So reach out, so you can contact us via both those websites. Follow me on LinkedIn, all of the above.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much, Eric. Yeah, it was very helpful. I love your checklist. So guys, make sure you go download it at thesellerprocess.com or in the description of the YouTube video. And guys, remember also that the key to success is to emulate the best. So take home the insights that Eric just shared with us, download the material, and start implementing it in your business. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the content we shared today. Put a like on the video or a review, leave a review in the podcast platform you're using. And I wish you to have a productive week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Hey, entrepreneurs, I hope you enjoyed the episode and learned something from the interview. If you're serious about creating systems for your business, automating processes, and building up your team, so that you can transfer the tedious daily tasks in order to focus on more high-level strategic tasks and work on your business and not in your business, I've created a guide for Amazon sellers named Capturing Systems and Creating SOPs that you can find at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook, where you will learn how to leverage systems and SOPs in your Amazon business so that you can accomplish more by working less, optimize your time, automate and delegate tasks, and reap the benefits of being a true business owner and not simply an operator in your own business. Go download the ebook at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook and start implementing all the tips and insights that I share with you. And leave us a review or a comment to let us know how the content we are sharing here is making an impact in your business. And have a productive week.